Welcome to Genesis English Academy. In this video, I am going to discuss on types of fluid flows. So first, laminar and turbulent, steady, unsteady, uniform, non-uniform, compressible and incompressible, rotational and irrotational, 1, 2 and 3-dimensional flow. So besides this, there are also other classification called vortex flow and the non-vortex flow. They exist in fluid machinery. So first of all, we discuss on what is that steady flow and unsteady flow, uniform flow, non-uniform flow, and this is the compressible, incompressible, rotational, irrotational, and 1 to 3D flows. So we go into the details fully. So what is steady flow and what is unsteady flow? So a steady flow is a type of flow in which the characteristics like velocity, pressure, density at a point do not change with time. So if you calculate or find out anything, so these are the important characteristics. That is, one is called pressure, the other one is called volume, and at the same time that is called density. You understand? So these values do not vary with this thing. That means P is equal to constant. You can write or understand dV is equal to volume is equal to constant. So if you doesn't change with that way, so then it is dP by dt. Yeah, I can write like this also. dP by dt is equal to 0, or dou P by dou t is equal to partial derivative can also you can use this. Next, that means that density does not vary with respect to time. Okay, the change in density with respect to time is 0. The change in velocity with respect to time or change in time also you can say is dP by dt, like that dV by dt, like that d by d, that is you can also use but mixed cannot be used. So this is about to steady flow, and you can say that the discharge is constant. That is the original meaning. So you can say, so if those doesn't maintain constant and if keep on changing with respect to time, then we can call it is unsteady flow. So the pressure varies, velocity varies, and density varies with respect to time. So you can say that is, you can also use what do you call exact differential also, that is dV by dt is not equal to 0 because it keeps on increasing or maybe decreasing. So then it is called unsteady. Next one is uniform, non-uniform. So this is and this is related with the direction of the length of the direction of the flow. You understand that? So this type of flow in which the velocity at any given time does not change with respect to space. That means if fluid flows through a pipe, so this is one point and this is a long distance, that is okay. So the velocity with respect to that is space is constant. Okay, so you can say if you differentiate with respect to that one, so this is dou V by dou S is equal to 0, or dV by ds is also equal to 0. So I can also use mathematical relations like dV by dt and 1 by ds by dt. If we cancel this, you will have this dV by ds. If it is a partial derivative, that is a particular thing which we concentrate, we can also use dou v by dou s is equal to 0. This is uniform flow. So the velocity, or for that matter anything, does not change with respect to distance, you can say. So throughout the pipe, the flow is constant. When you say uniform flow, suppose that the flow is taking place inside the pipe, then we can say, so the total, along the total length, the velocity is at 1 centimeter, at 2 centimeter, at 3 centimeters, wherever, so that there won't be any change in velocity. So that change in velocity is 0 with respect to space or length. That if doesn't follow, then you can say that that is dou v by dou s is not equal to 0, then it is called non-uniform flow. So to maintain that one, what would happen? So that is if the area changes, the velocity changes. So the uniform flow, you should have a constant diameter pipe. That is the meaning. Okay. Next one is compressible. So if anything, any flow, any fluid for that matter, the density remains the same even we apply some pressure over the that fluid. So that is called compressible. That means the density keeps on changing. So mass is equal to rho a v. So this is okay. So what about this? So because of these things, the density at one point is equal to density at second point, then density is constant. It is not equal to, then it is density is if you maintain the density constant, then we can say the flow or the fluid is incompressible and the flow takes place. So this is if the water or liquids are generally incompressible, while the gases like air are compressible. Only thing, whenever the word you come across, that density should come into your mind. So if the density is constant, the flow is incompressible. If the density varies from point to point, then it is compressible. So these are the examples for steady and uniform. So the flow at a constant rate. These exams are very, very important in so many competitive exams. These will come. So the flow at a constant rate, that is discharge Q is say through a duct of uniform cross section. So constant rate is for steady, uniform cross section is for uniform flow. You understand? So constant dia pipe, okay, and constant discharge. I can say constant discharge. Then, so that is Q is equal to constant and D is equal to constant. So this is for steady, this is for uniform. Okay, is steady. So in this case, steady, non-uniform, Q is equal to constant and D is not constant. You understand? So that means it is a tapered pipe. For uniform flow, it should have a uniform, that is constant diameter. Now, unsteady, uniform. You can also have that. Unsteady means Q is not equal to constant, but D is equal to constant. So here Q is not equal to constant, Q, that is D is also not equal to constant. So this is unsteady non-uniform flow. So based on that you can judge which is the correct answer. Next, laminar flow and turbulent flow. So these flows are mainly differentiated using Reynolds number in case of pipes, in case of channels, so anything. So what is laminar flow? Physically I can explain that in a laminar flow the fluid particles move along well-defined paths or otherwise streamlines. So all the streamlines are straight and parallel. So this is a streamline, another streamline, another streamline. So that is the flow takes place. If there are streamlines all straight and parallel, then it is a laminar flow. Okay. And there is one more concept, that is the layers. You can call this as a layer. So one layer over the other layer moves smoothly, and you can also say it is a laminar flow is a streamline flow or also viscous flow. So viscous flow is streamline, that is laminar flow. So that is a thick oil when you pour onto the ground from the bottle, you will experience that. So it comes like a one something solid like, okay, anything jelly like which comes. So there won't be any disturbance around, that is circumference of that one or surface of that one. You understand? So you can also experience, suppose there is a bottle, so the flow comes like this one. Everything is attached like. So there is no deviation like anything. So this is called as laminar flow. Okay. If the flow in which the particles moves, there are straight lines only. Okay. So every particle moves one over the other very smoothly. You can say that. So laminar flow is a viscous flow. There is a viscosity. Okay. Next, when you open a tap in our bathroom, when you wanted to fill up the bucket, you will experience. So there may be like that when you open this using your this thing. So there will be some fluid particles go outside and some may be. So there won't be any like parallel pipe like this. Okay. So this disturbance, this moves, the particle moves in a zigzag way. That is why this is due to eddies, that is losses in the, that is negative pressure also, you can say, or energy loss also, you can say it is a turbulent flow. But you don't have chance in multiple choices. Sometimes you will be asked to differentiate, that is laminar and turbulent flow. Laminar flow is a smooth flow, okay, it's a viscous flow and a streamline flow. Turbulent flow is a disturbed one, like zigzag one. But in many competitive exams, they'll ask you about a Reynolds number. So Reynolds number is a non-dimensional number which is used to differentiate, that is laminar, turbulent and other flows also. So this is that is viscous flow. This is called viscous flow. So rho V by mu, that is coefficient of viscosity. This is called kinematic viscosity. V. I am talking about only, that is pipe flow. The channel flow is different. So we are discussing about pipe flow only. So based on this Reynolds number, if the Reynolds number comes about to 2000 or less than 2000, we can say the flow is laminar. So You understand? This is 2000 and this is 4000. So these two numbers must be known to you. Less than 2000, it is laminar. More than 4000, it is turbulent. So in between, this is transition. You can write like this. So this is called transition flow. Why? Because it changes from laminar to, that is turbulent. So that is in the change of the flow. We can call that as a transition flow. You understand? So 2000 is also, you can say laminar, it is out of laminar. So not exactly, don't take that. More or less 1200, 1000, 800, like that you can have this Reynolds number and decide this thing, type of flow, whether it is a laminar flow and turbulent flow. Next one is rotational flow. Next one is rotational flow. A rotational flow is like our earth. You understand? Rotational flow is like our earth. So earth rotates about itself, that we got as a spin, and also revolves around a sun. So okay, you know this one, this also rotates and also rotates along this one. One thing is called as revolving, the other one is called rotating. It revolves around the sun and it rotates about its own axis. Okay, like that, if the fluid particle doesn't spin on its own axis, see this case. So it is rotating along the curve path, that is called direction of this one. So this you can consider this B as a fluid particle. So it is rotating, that is revolving something around something. Okay, but this is not rotating about itself own axis. So this is called as, if earth stops spinning on its own axis, then we can call it as a irrotational. So it is, you see this one A and B, it is rotating on its also while going through rotation about something like. So it is rotating about a circular path and also spinning about its own axis. In this case it is called rotational. In this case it is irrotational, right? So a rotational flow, you have the angular moment. You understand? Angular rotation is there for rotational flow. So omega x, omega y, omega z. So this is a determinant of the submatrix, and we will let you know after some time. So what does it mean? You can also have that one, and it is mathematical. So only thing you have to remember that. So this angular velocity exists. Angular velocity exists. Irrotational means angular velocity, and that is about this. This is. So this is another thing. Okay. So suppose. So that is the fluid particle, and it spins around like this, and also it rotates about this. Revolves, rotates. So that is about rotational, irrotational. So if one dimension is, actually we have 3 dimensions now. So what is that 3 dimension? X-axis and Y-axis and Z-axis. Okay. So if these things are available, suppose if you say velocity along X-axis, velocity along Y-axis, velocity along Z-axis. So if you represent total U is equal to Ux, velocity component on X-axis, velocity component Y-axis, velocity component that is called Z-axis. Okay. So this is 3D. So if you omit this one, that is 2D. If you omit both these two, this is 1D. So in 1D, u is equal to ux. In 2D, u is equal to ux plus uy. In 3D, this is equal to ux plus uy plus uz. This is 3D, this is 2D, this is 1D. You can also. You got my point? So if the things are sufficient to express anything, but generally the flow is three-dimensional in nature. But for our purpose, sometimes we go for plane flows, that is only two-dimensional we consider when we wanted to apply something. If you wanted to apply like a rotational flow, and also, as I said earlier, that is vortex flow. Thank you for watching.